He swore he turned it off. No lights, no signal, no sound. Yet the next morning, the ads on his feed knew exactly what he talked about. Coincidence? Or something else? Because what if, and hear me out, your smartphone doesn't really turn off? This isn't some sci-fi paranoia. In 2019, cybersecurity researchers discovered something terrifying. Phones, even when powered down, can still whisper data. Tiny background chips, Bluetooth modules, near-field sensors, even microphones, stay semi-active for what's called low-power listening mode, supposedly for Find My Device or emergency calls. But here's the problem. That same backdoor can be used for anything. So, is your smartphone actually listening when it's off? Let's find out. Think about this for a second. You're sitting with a friend, just having a casual conversation about a vacation you'd love to take. You don't type anything, you don't search anything, you just talk. A few hours later, you open YouTube, and there it is. Travel vlogs, flight deals, hotel recommendations. Almost like the internet read your mind. Then it happens again. You mention sneakers while hanging out, and suddenly your Instagram feed is filled with Nike ads, running shoes, and gym gear. You never searched for it. You never even set it near your phone when it was on. Coincidence? Maybe, but if it happens enough times, you start to wonder, what's really going on? We tell ourselves, it's just algorithms. That's the easy explanation. But here's the thing about algorithms. They need data to work. They can't predict what you want without listening to you somehow, whether that's through your clicks, your habits, or your voice. And when there's no visible trace of input, when you didn't type or tap anything, the question becomes unavoidable. Where's that data coming from? This is where it gets chilling. In 2022, a group of researchers from the Technical University of Darmstadt in Germany decided to test both iPhones and Android devices to see what really happens when you power them down. What they discovered wasn't bugged. It was a design choice. Even after shutdown, certain chips inside the phone, Bluetooth, ultra-wideband, and NFC, continued receiving power. These aren't random components. They're the same chips that let you find your phone when it's lost or make wireless payments even when your battery is nearly gone. But those same functions also mean one thing. The phone never truly goes dark. The researchers found that under certain conditions, those chips could be remotely pinged. In plain language, that means signals could still reach your device even after it was off. So that phone in your pocket, the one you think is dead and harmless, it's not off. It's sleeping with one eye open. But why would companies design it this way? Because modern smartphones aren't just tools. They're sensors, constantly collecting and transmitting information. They're not really built to serve you anymore. They're built to collect from you. Every feature that seems convenient, background sync, voice activation, personalized ads, doubles as a data pipeline. Every permission you grant, every app you install, every time you tap allow without thinking, you're giving the system one more doorway into your habits, one more glimpse into your life. And all that data, it doesn't just sit somewhere harmless. It's packaged, analyzed, and monetized. Data is the new oil, and you are the well. Companies make billions not by selling phones, but by selling you your preferences, your emotions, your routines, your patterns. So when you turn your phone off, you might think you're cutting off that connection. But in truth, the system that profits from you doesn't stop working just because you hit the power button. The truth is, smartphones today are designed to stay awake, not to spy on you directly 24/7, but to make sure they're always connected to the broader network that tracks, predicts, and monetizes human behavior. So yes, even when it's off, there's still a pulse, still a hum, because in the modern digital world, off doesn't mean silent anymore. It means standby. And that's what makes it so unsettling. Not the idea that your phone is malicious, but that it's obedient to a system that's built around one simple truth. As long as there's profit in knowing you, there's no such thing as privacy. Here's the irony. We think we're protecting our privacy by disconnecting. We power down our devices, switch on airplane mode, and feel that brief sense of digital silence, that illusion of control. But the truth is, even airplane mode doesn't guarantee silence anymore. You see, airplane mode was never designed to protect you from surveillance. It was designed to stop interference with aircraft signals, not to cut off background sensors or internal communication between components. Many modern phones still keep certain systems active in the background, even when disconnected. Your GPS chip motion sensors and diagnostic systems can remain partially powered. Why? Because the operating system keeps them awake for what it calls system integrity checks, crash reporting, or location recovery. In simpler terms, your phone still wants to know where it is, even if you tell it not to. So while you think you've gone invisible, your phone is still quietly pulsing, still sending tiny signals, still keeping one ear open just in case it's called upon again. It's like telling your security guard to take the night off, but he decides to leave the door half open. You feel safe, but the lock was never really secured. And here's where it gets darker. In 2021, a series of leaked documents from Edward Snowden resurfaced, and they revealed something that sent shockwaves through the cybersecurity world. According to those files, intelligence agencies had developed covert programs capable of remotely activating microphones and cameras, even when users believed their devices were turned off. Let that sink in. Even when the phone appeared dead, the software used a deceptive trick. It would simulate the shutdown screen, the black display, the fading light, everything you associate with your phone being powered down. But beneath that illusion, the system stayed quietly alive, running in what experts call stealth mode. In this mode, the device could transmit audio, track location, and even send data packets, all without lighting up or vibrating. It became a ghost in your pocket, invisible, silent, but fully aware. The terrifying part is how seamless this illusion was. From the outside, there was no way to tell. The phone gave you all the right visual cues, screen off, buttons unresponsive, but deep in its circuits, it was still listening, still connected, still doing its job. And if governments had this capability years ago, what makes us think corporations, with far more data and far less accountability, aren't experimenting with the same kind of stealth? This is the new age of connectivity. Devices that never truly disconnect. They rest, but they don't sleep. They listen, but they don't admit it. And in a world where silence can be simulated, the question becomes, how do you know when your phone has really gone quiet? Because maybe, just maybe it hasn't. And if that sounds like an old spy trick, remember, the hardware is even more advanced today. But wait, what about that feeling? You mention something random like dog food, and hours later you see an ad for it. Everyone's had it. So is it proof? Not exactly. Tech companies deny listening 24/7. They say it's contextual prediction. But tell me this. If the mic isn't listening, why does every major platform request persistent microphone permissions? Even apps that don't need audio, coincidence, or quiet surveillance. Now, here's the truth that most won't tell you. Your phone can listen when it's off, but it's not always doing it. However, the capability exists. When a device is shut down, the main processor stops, but secondary chips, like those managing wireless connections or sensors, may retain power for security features. Those chips are isolated, but vulnerabilities can be exploited, and hackers or governments love vulnerabilities. So the real question isn't, is your smartphone listening? It's, who could make it listen, and when? Here's the part that might actually save you. The part most people overlook. Because while it's easy to feel powerless in a world where everything listens, there are steps you can take to protect yourself. Real, practical steps that make a difference. Start with the simplest one. Permissions. Every app on your phone asks for access. Microphone, camera, location, contacts. And most of us just tap allow without thinking. But every one of those permissions is a tiny open window into your private life. Go through your settings. Revoke access to anything that doesn't absolutely need it. That fitness app doesn't need your microphone. That flashlight app doesn't need your location. You'd be surprised how much of your privacy is lost through convenience. Next, choose hardware that puts you back in control. Devices like the Fairphone or Librem 5 aren't just trendy alternatives. They're designed with physical privacy in mind. These phones come with hardware kill switches that physically cut power to your camera, microphone, and wireless modules. No app, no hacker, no agency can turn them back on remotely. When the switch is off, it's off. That's real silence. And for something even simpler, change your habits. Don't keep your phone near you when discussing personal or sensitive topics. You don't need to be paranoid, but you can be cautious. Store it in another room. Leave it outside your bedroom when you talk about things that matter. The less access your phone has to your private moments, the less data it can harvest, intentionally or otherwise. For those working in sensitive industries, journalists, activists, or government workers, go a step further. Use Faraday pouches. These special signal-blocking sleeves completely isolate your phone from any external connection. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no cellular, no GPS inside that pouch. Your phone is cut off from the world. No signals in, no signals out. It's the closest you can get to true digital silence. Because the truth is, silence isn't silence anymore. Not in this world. The quiet we think we have is no longer real quiet. It's just the hum of technology doing what it does best. Listening, learning, adapting. The devices we depend on every single day. The ones that wake us up, guide us through traffic, help us remember birthdays, and record our most personal moments. They're not just tools anymore. They're witnesses. They're companions that never truly sleep. We tell ourselves they're harmless, that they're just machines. But the unsettling truth is, they understand more than we realize. Your smartphone doesn't need to be turned on to know what's happening around it. Beneath its glass and metal are layers of hidden intelligence, passive sensors, low-power chips, background processes, all running silently, invisibly, constantly. That's what makes it so dangerous. Not because your phone is evil, but because it's designed to never stop working. The microphone that listens for, "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google," it doesn't power off with the screen. The location services that track your commute, they still store data in the background. The Bluetooth chip that connects to your earbuds, it stays awake, waiting for a signal, even when you think it's asleep. That's not paranoia. That's engineering. Your smartphone is smarter than you think. But its intelligence isn't just about speed or apps or AI. It's the intelligence of awareness, of constant observation, of learning your patterns even when you're not paying attention. And that's the part that's truly unsettling, because it means a boundary between on and off doesn't really exist anymore. When you press that power button and watch the screen fade to black, it feels final. You feel a small victory, like you've reclaimed your privacy, like you've shut the door on the digital noise. But maybe that sense of control is just part of the design, a psychological illusion to make you feel safe, while the machine beneath the surface keeps humming quietly, obediently, invisibly. Maybe the shutdown screen is just a curtain, and behind it, the show never stops. So the next time you power down your phone and place it face down on the table, take a moment, look at it, that sleek rectangle of glass and circuitry, and ask yourself, is it really off or just pretending to be? Because in this hyper-connected age where silence is simulated and privacy is optional, even when everything seems still, something is still listening, because silence in this world has changed. It's no longer the absence of sound. It's just the sound you can't hear. What do you think? Is it paranoia, or are we sleepwalking into a future where privacy is just an illusion? Drop your thoughts below. I want to hear your take. And if you want more truth behind the screens we trust, hit like, share this video, and subscribe. Because next time, we're uncovering something even deeper. You turn it off, but it never really goes quiet.